Good morning, folks. It is Monday, October 2nd. Terrible news today. A mass shooting, the worst mass shooting in U.S. history in Las Vegas overnight, where they are reporting now over 50 people have been killed and over 200 have been wounded. So we get to wake up to this that terrible news this morning. Yesterday was the referendum in Catalonia, where it was 90% voted for independence from Spain, and Spain now in a crisis. You had the national police attacking people who were going to the polls, hitting them with batons, rubber bullets, so that's a mess over there as well. Let's talk about the markets. Stock market is up, futures are up. And I want to get into that in a second. The euro, let's talk about the euro and the reaction to the Catalonia election. Not as bad as I would have thought. Euro right now trading around 117.30, or I should say euro to the dollar, 117.30. That's right into support. So far holding on pretty well. Gold is down around 1276. This has been one of the steepest corrections of the entire gold advance. You know, we hit 1353, I think was the high around September 8th. Open interest got up around, I think, 588,000 total open interest in gold futures, now down to 531,000. So we had over a 50,000, almost a 60,000 reduction in open interest. That is 6 million ounces. Basically, that's like around almost 70%. That's the equivalent of almost 70% of all the physical gold in COMEX gold warehouses. So that's quite an enormous liquidation by not just speculators, but all market participants. Producers are still short by about a 11-to-1 ratio, which is still kind of high. I would say 12-to-1 is very high. You like to see that thing get down around 8-to-1 when you start buying gold, but they're still short. And all of this as of last Tuesday. We got the commitment of traders report that came out on Friday. That covered all the activity in the week ending Tuesday, September 26th. We are going to make a new record. I'm telling you this right now. This is a done deal. It's already done. September of this year, September 27th, the federal government of the United States spent a new all-time record. We're going to be over $4.6 trillion. That eclipses the old record of 2009, which was $4.586 trillion. And if you recall, 2009 was the stimulus year. All right, that stimulus stopped the collapse in that whole financial crash and stock market collapse. That 4.586 trillion of spending, that was it. That was the bottom. It turned everything around. And this year, we have exceeded that. And that, if I'm going to point out one mistake or one failing of mine, it was not really just only considering the absolute level of spending. I kept looking at the growth rate in spending, which you could say is the second derivative. But really, that level of spending is what has kept the stock market going up. It is what has kept the economy, GDP growth positive. And let me add, that's not going away. And if we get tax cuts on top of that, the economy in 2018 will be on fire, and inflation will be significantly higher. Remember what I'm telling you here. Inflation will be significantly higher. So this gold pullback is an opportunity, and I'm happy to see some long liquidation here by speculators. It is an opportunity. Oil, let's talk about oil. Oil is down over 1% today. Now, you know I'm bullish on oil based on the fundamentals. The only trouble with oil right now, you have a big speculative long position. If we see inventory builds this week, you're going to get some more selling. But this is a pullback in a rising market. Okay, this is a pullback in a rising market. But the main thing here, if you want to know the big picture, if you want to know what I think about the big picture, this very, very high level of U.S. government spending, this is keeping everything up. And it's going to continue. Because whatever budget we get, and remember, the Congress hasn't passed a budget in 8 years, but they have to pass a budget to get these tax cuts through. Any budget we get is going, by the way, that spending, if you want to know that's military, that's war, okay? That is war. That's Keynesian military policy. Whoever says Keynesian policy doesn't work, it works, believe me. If you didn't have that, we'd be in a deep, deep recession. And that's all been on war, all right? You have very, very slow spending increases in Social Security, very, very slow, tiny spending increases in Medicare, very, very slow, tiny spending increases in Medicaid, education, all those things. It's war, all right? I track this stuff every single day, so I know. Anyway, if we get a budget, it's going to be at least at the same spending level. There's not going to be any cuts. And if we get a tax cut, because right now the federal government is collecting record amounts of taxes, enormous. Okay, we're up about 150 billion over last year in tax deposits to the Treasury. So any tax cut, whether it's for the rich or the middle class or the poor, any tax cut is just like going to throw fuel on the fire. So when you see Jim Rogers saying, this is going to be the worst recession of our lifetime. This is going to be the worst bear market of our lifetime. And you know I've been cautious on stocks, but that has been a wrong view in light of this enormous amount of spending. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue. But the best trade out there, if you want to know the best trade out there right now, you got to sign up for a 30-day free trial of my report, MMT Trader. I'll tell you what the best trade is. You're going to make a lot of money on this. A lot of money on this. But you have to go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. And right there on the front page, it says, get a 30-day free trial to MMT Trader. By the way, I will be working on MMT Trader today. It will be coming out later today. This is not going to be the worst recession of our lifetime. If the government keeps spending money at this pace, and I've been wrong on this, okay? Because I've been looking at the growth rate in spending, how fast they're spending it, okay? Right now, it's just about the absolute amount, the nominal amount. I mean, 4.6 trillion. That's the tide that floats all boats. That's what's going on, folks. Anyway, it's a sad day. I mean, this is terrible with this violence and people killing and all these wars. I've been watching the PBS Vietnam documentary by Ken Burns. You know what? You watch that thing, and you know, if you listen to what was going on and how the politicians lied to us and how we were losing the whole time, but they kept sending more and more soldiers there to die, and we were bombing the Vietnamese. I mean, the same crap going on now with all these wars. It's so sad. So terrible. Awful, really, man. Maddening. That's what it is. All right, everybody. I'm going to be busy working on the report today. The new report will be out later. I might have time for another update, but that brings you pretty much up to speed right now. See you later. Bye-bye.